Hello people, welcome back to the channel. My name is Darsh Joshi and I'm a BTech Computer Science and Engineering graduate, and I'm currently working as a developer in a tech camp. Yeah, I know my camera is blurry because the camera, which is my phone I use regularly, is not being connected for some reason. I'm not sure why, so laptop webcam for now. I'm not sure if I'll be using it anymore. Today we'll be going through inheritance, what inheritance is, and how we use it in our programs basically. So if you have not seen the previous videos, for have around 30 subscribers, is really grateful for that. We have an entire Python course and it's like 11 videos including the course introduction. If you don't know what we are doing right now, please check out this course, then complete the video and give what you're supposed to. Why not? Yeah, I'm trying to be consistent with this YouTube thing and I think it's going well. Let's move on to the next, not the next, but let's begin with inheritance in Python. So this inheritance part is basically divided up in 2 or 3 videos maybe. For now I've planned for 2 weeks. Let's see how it goes. So far we have discussed last video about encapsulation, how we use private, public, getters, setters and properties. And it's like inheritance is a completely new concept of object-oriented programming, so I'm sure it would be a little bit change, like, you know what I'm trying to say. It would be a bit different and it would be a good thing to know. Inheritance basically allows one class to reuse and extend the functionality of another class. What did I just say? Let's take a look at that whiteboard. So let's say we have a class. Say we are working with a class of 10 people. 10 people. Say students in. Then there would be a certain amount of students that are also engaged in a karate class. Like some would be in a music class as well. Again, some would be indulged in a science club. Some would be interested in, let's say, space kind of stuff. This would be other clubs. So what we have done here is we took a class, we divided it into multiple other classes. Both inherit the properties of this basic class, and it would have some of their own little properties, have their own method, it would have their own variables and stuff like that. Yeah, that's basically how an inheritance works. Like, let's take another example. Your grandpa has some property and it gets divided between his two sons, which is the father and your uncle, and this property gets divided into you and your sibling. This gets divided into further whatever divisions would take. It's the same property, but it has divided up into several different parts, but it still remains a consistent huge part, property of the grandfather. You get the point, what I'm trying to say, and you get why I addressed this. Mind. Yeah. So what is inheritance? Inheritance means that a class can use the properties and behaviors of another class. So instead of rewriting the same code multiple times, we define it once in the base class and allow other classes to inherit from it. I'm sure it makes complete sense. This makes the program cleaner and it avoids duplication of properties, like you don't have to repeatedly write the same code. So as you can see on your screens right now, that the base benefits of this is code reusability, better organization, and easier maintenance of the things you have in a class. Moving on, what is a parent class? Let's take a look at in. So let's take animal, and we'll use a constructor, not a constructor, but and what we'll do is we do this. So in this case, what we see is a parent class basically. Like it could be any animal. It could be a dog. It could be a cat. It could be a pet tiger. Tiger from China is invading my Instagram reels a lot right now. So like animals do make sounds. It could be a bark sound. It could be a meow sound, or whatever the sounds you can think of. The parent class is the main class here, but and whatever other subclasses we make, they will be called child classes. They would basically inherit this specific property from this, like any the animal book. I don't think speak would terminal. This would sound. The sound would be a good property. So in this example, parent method basically defines, the parent class basically defines a method called sound, and whatever animals we inherit from this would be making some sort of sound. I hope that's clear. But we can next slide, which is child class, of course. So how do we make a child class basically? For that, this let's say dog, right? And to now dog is a child class of animal. F bark, let's say, the dog barks, and print out that dog barks. This is a like child class of this. If I print, not print, but let's call let's make an instance dog. Now that dog is an instance of the class dog. Now we can dog dot sound. Let's run this. Okay, we are getting some output. Now we should try. Getting some output, but I'm not sure if that's the correct output. But you get the point of how it's working. Like this, dot sound equal return. animal sound of dog object. So it's basically working, but I'm not sure why we are not that one. I'll just fix it real quick. I get the okay. Dog makes sound, and it's now dog dot bark. True, and dog barks. Expecting, because like this is an inherited class from animal. The animal class, and inside this we have a division or a cat. Others. Others. Others is basically a general term we use when we are out of examples. Anyway, so we get that these two would make some different sounds, but in this case we defined this as bark, and if you want we can define this as a meow sound. You get the point of what I'm trying to do. So let's try this thing. Self sound would be, let's keep it as arc, and what we'll do is return self.sound. Okay, now let's see what happens. It's returning bark now. What if I do this after this line? Then is there any change? Okay, we're getting some error because we tried to change this value here. It's not callable anymore for some reason. Let's do this. And you get the point of what I'm trying to do here. Let's move on to the next slide. The child class, we were discussing about this, and the discussion is I'm sure complete, I guess. If you have any doubts, you can simply ask that in the comments. I'll make sure to reply all of those doubts and clear all of them. Let's move on to the next slide. Using inheritance, you'll see stuff I show in VS Code. Anyways, I'll close this for now because we won't be needing that anymore, I guess. I hope. If we do, we'll just open it again. So let's keep this here. Dog equals dog dot speak. Okay, I was going to explain this here because that's what I've written in my speaker notes. So you get the point of what I'm trying to do here. Bark.sound is a different thing, and here basically we are changing the sound from true to this. For some reason it's throwing an error because string object is not callable. It's because I'll just figure this out of why we are not able to do this. Okay, so I figured out the issue, and it's that this is not what we can do. Let's do this as animal sound. Now it should work. Not working. It works for the first line, this one, but it doesn't work for the second line. It throws an error in line 15. Print dog sound, string object is not callable. Yeah, it works this way, I guess. Okay, now that we see, we have managed to change this value. Not that value, but like the sound value. Yeah, that's how we basically work with inheritance in Python. Let's move on to the next slide, which should be the super function and how we can use it. So I'll just show that in VS Code, but before going there, let's discuss about what's the definition and how we use this. Super is used to access methods from the parent class. Super function allows the child class to basically call the methods from its parent class. This is especially useful when both the parent and child classes have their own initialization methods. So using super parentheses ensures that the parent class is properly initialized. Let's take a look at that in code. I'll clear all this up. This one up as well. Let's take class animal again. Inside that we'll do def init and self, and not self. And what we'll do is print animal created. Animal created. And now let's take another class. Let's call it dog again. Dog is a class, a subclass, a child class of animal. We'll define that as well. And after that we'll use the initialization constructor as well. Okay, that was auto suggested, but it's pretty much what I wanted to do. Now what we'll do is print dog created, and we'll make an object here. Dog equals dog. Yes, now we can be able to use the methods from here. Let's try this out. As we see, animal created, then dog created, which means it ran through the parent class first, this one, it executed this line, then it moved to this one, this class basically, and it printed out this line after that. What happened is, when I'm creating this class, basically iterates through this part, it goes through this, and it sees this line, and then jumps to this class, goes and studies this, prints out this output, animal created. After that it goes for this line, line 8, this dog created, and we get our output here. So this is something which we will always get if we are directly printing out this entire instance, entire object. Yeah, that's what we had to discuss for this video. Next slide is conclusions. So inheritance basically allows code to use class hierarchy, cleanup, program design, the key concepts of parent class, child class, and super. So basically inheritance helps you organize programs into a logical relationship. Parent class defines common functionalities between all the child classes, and the child classes extend or customize that behavior. The super function helps the child class interact with the parent class property, and this makes object-oriented programs more structured and reusable. So yeah, that was it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are going strong, I would say. And yeah, do leave a like, because that gives this channel a little boost from your end. And that's everything I had to cover for this week actually. So I think we should be good to end this video. And yeah, keep learning and have fun. See you in the next one. See that rhymes.